We have to kind of create for each other. We have to create those spaces where our voices are respected. Freedom School 360 wants to be one of those spaces where everyone enters with this common understanding that we can trust ourselves, we can rely on our own innate capacity to be curious, intelligent, our innate wisdom, that compassion that we're born with, those things that are conditioned out of us in the society, we have to reawaken those for ourselves. But one of the ways we can do it is in community.
Because we sort of vote Democratic election after election, because progressive politics and liberal politics sort of are part of our DNA, that the work of dismantling racism is not quite required of us. But that's not the case, you know. Everywhere we look around, race and racism is at play. There are people that don't feel welcome, that don't feel fully included and empowered.
Even though you might look like me, there might be challenges, and you might have internalized some of the colonization and racism and put it back onto the community and put it back onto me or to you or to other people who look like your parents, right? Other Black folks.
Part of the problem has been that for a lot of communities, the kind of systemic and historical trajectory of isolation and marginalization has been ignored. And so we assume that everybody's going to enter the conversation on the same level. But really there's a lot of work to be done to make sure that people's voices are empowered. And who can do that? Who can empower those voices? People have to empower themselves.
So beginning in my 30s, it's been an ongoing work to recognize how much I didn't even know about our history and about how those things were at play in how I was raised, in why I lived in a predominantly white area, why my school was predominantly white. And so as I've been unpacking those and peeling off layers, and growing and understanding, I can't unsee them, and so I can't not do something about them.
You know, I love Iowa, but I also think that we don't realize how segregated we are. And I think we don't realize how conversations often don't let all voices in. And I think we also don't realize that sometimes it takes extra work and patience and self-examination to communicate across boundaries. And I think that this Freedom School is going to be a great opportunity to explore some of those questions and challenges. And I think I'm looking forward to being maybe even a little uncomfortable, you know, and learning from that.
So the work of sort of dismantling and understanding how race and racism plays a role in our everyday lives, in all the organizations that we belong to, and every institution that we interact with is incredibly important. And so the Freedom School, you know, forcing people to really reevaluate and rethink and being a catalyst to understand that work is vitally important.
One of the things that's really lacking in today's society is that sense of interdependence and mutuality. And the Freedom School 360 curriculum aims to build capacity for people to engage in relationships along lines of mutuality and interdependence, to recognize that that is an integral part of being human, and that we can only be our best selves when we are in relationship with other people.
The idea of solidarity is almost mythical. People don't understand that it's actually a process, that we have to have conversations that come out of our personal experiences and the things that we envision, like talking about our vision and talking about our personal experience, and putting those two together. That, to me, is the basis of solidarity. A lot of the work that we need to do is to look at ourselves as legitimate contributors to creating the kind of society we want to live in.